we have fundamental here, fundamental quantities, and we have derived quantities. Can you see that? Derived quantities. All right. Aha. So how do we go about this? Let's start from number one. Number one, they are independent on any other quantity. They are independent. So we have independent on any other quantity. Can you see that? Independent on any other quantity. All right, but these, they are dependent on the fundamental quantities. They are dependent on fundamental quantities. Can you see that? That is number one. The number two, all right, number two, they are not derived from any other quantity. Although to me, some textbooks will write it like that, that they are not derived from any other one. But to me, they have similar meaning as the first one. But let me still write that because I saw it in some textbooks. So he said they are not gotten from any other quantity. To me, it has the same meaning as the first one, but it's like that in some textbooks. Any other quantity. All right. Any other quantity. Here, they are, can you see that? They are gotten from other quantities. Can you see that? They are gotten from other quantities. Can you see? All right. So next one we have is number three. I can use example to also write the difference. I'll write examples. Examples include, can you see that? Examples include, I have here, I have mass, I have what again? I have time, I have length. Can you see it? I have amount of substance, I have what again? I have temperature, I have temperature. I have what again? I have current of electricity. I have current of electricity. Can you see that? All right, etc. Here we have examples here. Examples include, we have area, I have volume is here, I have force is here, I have weight, although weight is a kind of force anyway, but I still want to write it. I have energy, I have work, I have acceleration is here. Can you see it? Acceleration. I have moment, I have momentum is here, momentum. I have density is here, and etc. There are some other ones. All right, that is number three. Number four, you may also say that their units are fundamental units. That's another way of writing the difference. Their units are what? Fundamental units. Here, for number four, you say their units are derived units. Can you see that? So probably I would have written some other differences, but as you can see, I don't have much space here. So with this four now, I have written a comprehensive difference between fundamental quantities and what? derived quantities. As you can see the differences, we have written up to 4. I can still write up to 6. All right, but with this, there's no exam they will ask you above 4. Sometimes they will ask you 3, sometimes they will ask you 2, sometimes maximum they can ask you is what? 4. So when you know this, I think you are there. All right, sometimes it may not be different between fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Sometimes they may ask you the difference between fundamental units and what? Derived units. So let us also write down the differences between fundamental units and what? Derived units, so that whichever one they ask you, you will be able to answer them effectively. All right, so we have fundamental units. All right, difference between fundamental units and what? Derived units. Number one is that these fundamental units, they are not dependent they are not dependent on any other unit. Can you see that? All right, why derived units, they are dependent on fundamental units. Fundamental units, they are dependent on fundamental units. All right, next one we have is number 2. All right, number 2, we say they are units of the fundamental quantities. They are the unit of fundamental quantities. Of course, we know this, right? This one, they are the units of the derived quantities. Can you see that? Derived quantities. Can you see that? All right, next one we have is number 3. I can use example. I'll write examples include here I have meter. I have what again? I have second. Can you see it? I have second. What else do I have? I have ampere. Ampere is here. Ampere, that's unit of current. Then I have what again? I have kilogram. That is a unit of mass. Then what do I have again? I have mole. That is unit of what? Amount of substance. I have Kelvin. Here. It is C. That's unit of what? Temperature. All right, here I'll say examples include. Can you see it? Examples include. What do I have? I have meter per second. That is unit of speed. You have meter per second. All right, next one I have is I have meter cube. That is unit of what? Volume. I have meter square. That is unit of what? Area. I have kilogram per meter cube. I have kilogram per meter cube. That is unit of what? Density. All right, I have what again? I have meter per second square. That is unit of what? Unit of acceleration. All right, I have some other ones. All right, remember I said you have moment here and so on and so forth. All right, so when you write this, you notice that you have written what? The difference between the fundamental units and the fundamental quantities. All right, if you are a science student, especially SS1 student, just know that this kind of question, they are likely to come out. They will ask you to briefly explain the following: fundamental quantities, derived quantities, fundamental units, derived units, write differences between fundamental quantities and the derived quantities, write differences between fundamental units and the derived units. Um, I believe that I have made it very simple to you, that you will be able to answer that if you are asked. All right, remember, this is Engineer Kenneth tutorial. Follow this page and share this video so that it will get to the right students that need to acquire this knowledge. Bye.